House Bill 3118, the Higher Practices Institution of Higher Education.
Recognize Senator Carter.
Thank you, Madam President. Up and at it again. House Bill 3118 comes to you on a unanimous vote from your Senate Committee on Education and General Government. House Bill 3118 is modeled after the Rooney Rule of the National Football League. While we might not have an NFL team yet, House Bill 3118 directs that we function at the highest standard of sports. The legislation requested by a former collegiate football player at Western Oregon directs that each institution under the jurisdiction of the State Board of Higher Education interviews one or more qualified minority applicants when hiring a head coach or athletic director. Unless the institution was unable to identify a qualified minority applicant who was willing to interview for the position. Testimony in support, colleagues, of House Bill 3118 was received from Bob DeCarolis, Director of Athletics at Oregon State University, who reported in 2008 NCAA Division I athletic directors adopted the position that for head football coach, men's basketball coach, women's basketball coaches, and athletic director positions, that at least one minority candidate be in the formal interview process. Oregon State Athletic Director DeCarolis stated, while there has been some progress in this area, there is still much room for improvement, therefore the need for House Bill 3118. In addition, full support for House Bill 3118 was submitted by Oregon State University head basketball coach LaVonda Wagner, stating, and I'm quoting, "There are many qualified minorities in the athletics position. House Bill 3118 will provide another avenue for qualified minorities to develop their skills and work towards eventually becoming a head coach or an athletic director." Rob Cashel, athletic director at Eastern Oregon University, stated, "I think if qualified minorities knew they were going to have a possibility to interview, they might take a closer look at schools such as ours, that Oregon has this law and there's an opportunity out there." On your desk, each of you have a letter of support from Mike Bellotti, athletic director of the University of Oregon and former head coach of the Ducks. House Bill 3118 is a message about opportunity for all in Oregon, and I request today your consideration and an aye vote. Thank you very, very much.
Recognize Senator Haas.
Thank you, Madam President. Some of you may have thought this bill was off for a long rest when it was referred to the Senate Education Committee, but a funny thing happened on the way to that resting place. I, along with members of our committee, began thinking about it, and we began talking about it. I talked to college coaches who were well known, and I talked to people who were minorities and not so well known. Eventually, I came around to the indisputable fact that guys who look like me should never be allowed to pass judgment on the barriers minorities face when it comes to hiring. The opportunities I had or didn't have, the jobs I got, the jobs I didn't get, never had anything to do with the color of my skin. My skin color never kept me out of a job interview, but not everyone in this state can say that. So our committee set out to work on this legislation with the hopes of passing it and improving it. We narrowed the definition of minorities to match definitions in other chapters in Oregon law. We provided an affirmative defense for schools, which meant that if an athletic department works in good faith to interview a minority but can't find one, then legal claims cannot successfully be brought against the school. In short, instead of sacking this bill, we made it stronger. It doesn't require schools to hire minorities. It doesn't impose quotas. It just says, keep your eyes open. There may be others who deserve a look. When more opportunities open up, good things almost always happen. No one really knows why. It just is the divine way of the world. Problems can become opportunities when the right people come together. This is our chance to provide more opportunity. This is our opportunity to provide leadership. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, do you wish to close, Senator Carter? All right, the question now arises upon third reading and final passage of House Bill 3118. Those who are of the opinion that the bill should be passed will answer aye as their names are called. Those opposed, no. The clerk will call the roll.
Bonamici. Boquist. Burdick. Carter. Devlin. Dingfelder. Ferrioli. George. Girard. Haas. Johnson. Cruz. Metzger. Mons Anderson.
Aye.
Monroe. Morissette. Morse. Nelson. Przonski. Rosenbaum. Schrader. Starr. Telfer. Verger. Walker. Whitsett. Winters. Atkinson. Bates. President Courtney. Excused. Winters. Absent. Boquist. 20 ayes.
House Bill 3118B, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed.